One summer's night, old Slowcoach was asleep on the beach. She had just been restored to work as the new workman's hut after the old one had burnt down. It wasn't the most glamorous job, but the workers did need homes until a real hut was built. It wasn't an easy job either. She knew the weather would never cease. She wasn't looking forward to those cold winter days. But she dozed happily. Suddenly, she heard a noise. She sleepily opened her eyes. It was a fast, low puffing sound. It's probably just Duck or Oliver or the twins, she thought. The puffing came closer. No, sounds different. The puffing grew closer again. Could it be one of the big engines? No. She'd been on the main line. This noise still sounded unfamiliar. Maybe it was a new engine. The puffing was close. She could hear it more clearly now. It sounded almost as if the joints were stiff and covered with rust. She closed her eyes. It looked like she was asleep. The chuffing went past her slowly. She opened one eye. The shape wasn't familiar. She looked a little closer and gasped quietly. The engine looked very rusty. The whole thing was different shades of brown. It quickly turned backwards into the other. She didn't dare move. It stopped suddenly. It sounded like it coupled to a truck. She was shaking with fear. Then the engine quickly steamed away. She was stunned. She didn't open her eyes until the morning. The next morning, she was tired. The bags under her eyes were thick. Just then, Duck cheerfully puffed in with his passengers. "Good morning, Coach," he said cheerfully. "Oh, hello, Duck." "You seem down. What's up?" he asked. "Oh, it's nothing. I just thought I saw something last night." Duck paused for a moment and looked around. Then he said quietly, "What was it?" "Well, I saw this rusty engine pass by here last night. It just collected a truck and then left. It was covered in rust and it didn't have a cab." "Oh dear, you must have seen the ghost of Tidmouth." "The ghost of Tidmouth?" Coach questioned. "Indeed. Edward told me all about it." And Duck explained. Long ago, before this line was refurbished and the old line was still in working order, 3 engines worked here. They were named Rocket, Puff, and Shunt. Rocket was a reckless engine, always going over speed limits and causing accidents. "Your recklessness will get you into trouble," said the others, but Rocket didn't care. He kept getting into trouble, but one day it all got up to him. Rocket was pulling a goods train from Tidmouth. He didn't enjoy goods trains, and he wanted to get his work over with. So he was rough with the truck. He was also going quite fast, so he could finish faster. Suddenly, the station came into view. Rocket had forgotten how close the 2 stations were. Little did Rocket know that the curved track had been damaged from him breaking hard the previous day. The trucks were annoyed with him bumping them, and they wanted to pay him out. He braked as hard as he could, but the trucks kept on. Suddenly, splash! Rocket had derailed on the curb and landed in the sea. The workmen tried to pull him out, but they couldn't see him. It was just like he had disappeared. So what you're saying is that I saw a ghost? Indeed I do. Duck's guard whistle blew. Oh dear, I forgot about the time. I'll see you later, Coach. I'll see you later, Duck. I hope. Later that night, Coach couldn't sleep. She was scared. However, she was sure ghosts couldn't exist. After all, she was safe from the scrapyard, and she hadn't seen any ghosts there. She thought. But maybe Duck was right. She was swiftly interrupted by a sharp, loud whistle. A rusty tank engine quickly pierced into view. She tensed up. The puffing came in again. He collected a truck and left. This happened again and again and again. Night after night, the ghost collected a truck and left. Coach was tired. She hadn't slept for days, so she started to devise a plan. That day, the workman's hut had finally been rebuilt, and Coach was put on the line and shunted into the yard. The yard was empty and still. Coach waited patiently, and then she heard the whistle pierced through the fog. The puffing came into the yard quickly. It gently coupled up to Coach, and it started to puff away when Coach spoke up. What are you doing?
What did you just say?
The engine bellowed. What is your problem? Taking trucks? What kind of nonsense is this?
I want revenge for my demise. I was in perfect working order until those trucks pushed me into the sea.
It echoed. Well, you shouldn't have bumped them in the first place. You brought this upon yourself.
Quiet, you! Now come on!
What Rocket didn't know was that her brakes were hard on.
How are you not moving? I am a goddamn ghost!
She said, confused and annoyed. Because you're wrong.
What?
Coach spoke up. Those trucks may have pushed you, but they were hardly the cause of your demise. You're the one who was the cause of the damaged track. You're the one who was going at dangerous speeds. Even if the trucks didn't push you, you'd still end up with the same fate. Rocket lost patience.
Enough!
Rocket, blinded with rage, suddenly started to drag Coach.
Ah, yes. Let's see you get out of this one.
Rocket chuckled as he began to pull Coach forwards towards the water. He made it to the switch, when suddenly they heard the sound of an engine coming up fast. Bam! The engine collided into rock, knocking him and Coach off the rail. The engine was Edward, who'd come tender first.
Rocket, this needs to stop. This hatred towards trucks has gone on for too long.
Rocket dazed for a second. He quickly gathered his thoughts.
Quiet, old-timer. You have no idea what it's like being forever bounded to the waters. You're right, I don't. But I do know that you're better than this. And I know that this is not who you want to be. This isn't what Puff or Shunt would have wanted either.
Rocket was unfazed.
What do you care? You lot gave up on me. Rocket, you need to understand. What happened that day was a terrible tragedy. But hurting trucks like this, it's just wrong. Even still, no one even tried to get me out of the water. They all left me to rust alone. You're wrong again. I tried everything to get you out of the water, and it was the bull who decided to leave you. Telling Puff and Shump that you were gone was one of the hardest things I've ever done. You were greatly missed by so many engines because you were a hard worker. Sure, you were reckless at times, but you were still an important part of the railway.
A long silence fell over the scene when it was broken by the sound of Rocket crying. His voice now softened.
Oh, Edward, I'm so sorry. I've been so caught up in my own rage that I hadn't thought about what really happened and how much the other engines cared about me, and it's okay, old friend. You had every right to be mad at everyone for how poorly you were treated.
Rocket sniffled and spoke once more.
I think I'm ready to move on now. Then I have nothing more to teach you.
Edward smiled, and with that, Rocket, with one long whistle, disappeared into the mist. Edward spoke to Coach.
Well, I'd better get you back on the rails then.
So Edward lifted Coach back onto the rails, shunted Coach back into the siding, and left for the sheds. Coach was silent before speaking to no one in particular. Goodbye, Rocket. I hope you're in a better place now. Coach made sure that Rocket would never be forgotten, and made sure to tell workmen all about the story. And soon the story was now well known all over the island, and on some nights, Coach swears she can see the spirit of Rocket smiling and saying thank you before disappearing into the mist once more.